Welcome! Bem-vindos! Sejam todos bem-vindos à nossa aula de hoje, gente! And this is a special week, right? It's a Christmas week, so I hope you are having an amazing holiday among friends, family, or anywhere you are. So we really wish you a very, very happy Christmas. And next week we'll be celebrating the new year, so this is a very cool time in the year, right? So today, because of this specific date, we are learning how to wish things in Portuguese. So it's normal this time of the year we start to wish people everything we want for them during this time and also for the next year. So here in Brazil, for example, it's common to send cards or small letters, and of course they are getting less and less common because of internet, right? So people start sending this kind of message on WhatsApp app, also on Facebook and etc. All the social medias, right? And even though it's not the traditional way to send letters, meaning the real letters we write on a paper, these are also kinds of message we send through internet. So we tend to follow the same aspects of the regular letters, right? And of course, the content is the same, right? The message we sent is the same. Wishing people all the best for this time and for the new year. So that's what we're learning today. How to write this kind of message. It can be through letter, concrete letter, let's say like this. I don't think we say it in English, but I mean the specific paper, or through internet. So we are going to learn how to write this in Portuguese. So we have some specific things to pay attention to, and that's our focus today, to show you guys how to manage this, okay? So let's go. Are you ready? So first of all, if you can tell us where you are spending Christmas holiday, and what do you expect for next year? Tell us, what do you expect for 2020? Can you tell us? Don't forget that you can share this class with more people so they can know where to find good content to learn Portuguese. And if you want to take a screenshot and post it on your social media, you can use some hashtags I'm about to show you. So let's see if you can see my whiteboard. Yes, you can. So you can use some hashtags like this. Yes, Portuguese, which is our course name. You can write also Portuholics. I love these guys. This is amazing. Very cool. This was created actually by our students, the students from our private course. You can also use, of course, Yepper if you are already a Yepper, which means you are already a Yes Portuguese student. And I guess we have lots of more hashtags, but you can use these and it will be fine. This way we can find you, right? If you post and use this hashtag, we can find you, okay? So let's go, guys. If you are already in our WhatsApp group, you have received this PDF file here, which is the study material you can use to follow the class. So some students have been receiving these for a while. Some of them decided to print the material, then they can follow, they can just listen to the class in their phones using a phone. And then they can just follow here using the material, or you can print to have it like a file, you know, like a real file of content. And if you don't want to print, of course, you can just use in your computer. It's awesome too, okay? So if you are in this group, in our WhatsApp group, you have already received this material, and as I told you, today we are going to learn how to wish things in Portuguese, specifically how to write these Christmas cards. So it's common this time of the year, we start to do that, and maybe you are wondering how to do that in Portuguese. Maybe you want to surprise someone you love, some friend, some family, friends, or the family from your husband's family, or things like that, you know. So you can maybe surprise them writing a message in Portuguese. So let's see how this thing works. So to start, guys, I want to show you this Christmas card. This is an example of a Christmas card we send here in Brazil. I received some Christmas card with a small gift, and then that's what you'll find here. So this is an example. Let's read it together. You can follow me, and if you want, you can read together with me if you are already advanced and you want to practice, okay? If you are not feeling so confident, you can just listen to me reading. So let's check it. Queridos Ana e Júlio, desejamos a vocês Natal de muito amor e paz. Que 2020 seja ano de muitas alegrias, saúde e realizações. São os votos de Patrícia e Marcos. Okay? I know you probably understand everything or most of what's written here, but there are some particularities in what to choose to write that you must know to write it correctly. Okay? So let's check it right now. Let me just check if yes, you are seeing everything. So first thing I want to show you guys is this point here. Querido. Can you notice that? Let me amplify the size here. Yes, better. You can see that we start this small letter, this card, with this word, queridos, right? Which is here, queridos. So here we have already a particularity. So first thing, guys, querido means dear in English, okay? So it's a way to call the person you were writing to start your card or your letter. Of course, we use this when we have intimacy, some kind of intimacy with the other person, right? So we won't use this word if we are writing a formal card or a formal letter. What I mean here, it's a card for someone in your family, some friend, okay? So this is the word dear in Portuguese, but we have to make the agreements. We normally have to do when we have adjectives or nouns in Portuguese, right? So if you are referring to one person, and specifically one guy, a man, you can use this form, querido. So if you have a friend called, for example, Júlio, as in the letter, you can say querido Júlio, okay? But if you are referring to a woman, one single woman, then you have to make the agreement and put here the letter A. Okay, let me put it in red so you can notice. So you can say, for example, querida Ana, as in the card, okay? So to refer to someone which is only one person and a feminine person, so a woman, one single woman or a girl, you will use querida, okay? But if I want to refer to two people, like in the card, Júlio, Júlio e Ana, okay? Two people. Then I will use the plural version, okay? Queridos, okay? So if I have two or more men, or at least one man in this group, of two or more people, I have to use the masculine plural, okay? Queridos, okay? Queridos. But imagine I would write this letter for two girls. So, Julia, feminine form of this first name, and Ana. Then I would have to put the letter addressed to Queridas Julia y Ana. So if I have only women or only girls which I'm writing to, I will use the feminine plural. So if this group has at least one man, even if I have like 10, 20 girls and just one man, I have to use the masculine plural. If I have only girls or only women, I will use queridas in the feminine plural version. Okay? Very unfair, right, guys? But that's it. So, querido, querida, queridos, queridas. Okay? So, back in the card, as it was, two people, plural form. One man and one woman, I have to use queridos. So, pay attention when using this word, okay? So then, guys, how to wish things. So that's our second point in this class. So can you notice that in this letter we started with desejamos a vocês Natal de muito amor e paz. Desejamos. So check this, guys, in here. We can use desejo. Let me put it bigger. Yes. We can use desejo or desejamos. If the letter or the card is sent by you and only you, so you will be the person who signs the letter in the end, so you will use the first person singular, okay? Eu. So you will use this form, desejo, because this is the form we use for the verb desejar with the first person singular, eu. So just putting the verb here for you so you can see the plural form of the infinitive form of the verb, desejar, okay? This is the verb, to wish, okay? Well, so you can put eu desejo, so if you want you can write this. Eu desejo a você, blah, 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 blah. So I wish you, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Let me put here again the verb. So you can desejar. Okay. Desejar. So we can write the pronoun here, okay? The subject pronoun, what we call in Portuguese pronomes pessoal, eu. Or I can just make like in the card. We can just start directly with the verb. Desejo, okay? So, eu desejo or desejo. Both are correct. But if the letter or the card is being written by you and someone else, then you have to use the first person plural, nós, right? Then the form of the verb desejar with this pronoun is desejamos, okay? Desejamos. Like we saw here in the card, desejamos, okay? So in this case, again, you can say nós desejamos a você, blah, blah, blah. So we wish you, blah, blah, blah. Or if you prefer, you can do like in the card, just put the verb, desejamos a você, we wish you. Because in Portuguese, guys, we can omit, we can not say the pronoun or the subject of the verb. We can use only the verb without the subject. So we don't have to put always eu, você, nós, eles before the verb. And why so? Because in Portuguese we have conjugations, which means we have these differences in the way the verb behavior in each person. So we don't need to say nós here because of this ending, the termination of the verb, we can already understand that the person here is actually nós, you know? So as the verb will change according to the person, we can just look into this termination and understand that the verb here is conjugated in the first person plural. Got it? So that's why in Portuguese we can't omit, we cannot say, we can't actually decide to not say the subject, okay? So you can choose here to use first person singular or first person plural depending on who is signing this letter in the end, okay? And you can put after the verb to wish, desejar, a você or a vocês. So this means to you, meaning one single person, or to you, plural version. If you are writing a letter to more than one person, then you will have to use a vocês. But if you are referring to only one person, a você. Okay? Desejo a você. So let's put it here. We can say then. Desejo a você muito amor, paz, etc. So lots of love, peace. So here, guys, I can say a você, specifically to you, right? Or I can also not say this. I can say desejo muito amor, paz. So I wish love, peace, okay? Without specifically saying to you, okay? That's why it's between brackets in here. The subject and also this object. So both can be or can be or not said, okay? That's why they are between brackets, okay? So, what to wish, guys? This is maybe the third thing we will think about. So, I'm not sure if you are, if it's common to wish these kinds of things in cards in your country, but here in Brazil, we normally wish these kinds of things in Christmas cards and New Year's cards. So we can wish amor, love, paz, peace, alegria, which is joy, harmonia, harmony, prosperidade, prosperity. I'm not sure if you use this word, but this means that things will grow and that everything in your life will be very successful. You know, everything that you do will be successful. This is prosperity, prosperidade. Saúde, health, sucesso, success, realizações, which means that you will accomplish everything that you try to do. Okay, so realizações, that means accomplish everything that you want to do. It can mean in work, in your personal life, in everything. And felicidade, happiness, okay? So let's read this word to really master their pronunciation. So repeat after me. Amor, paz, alegria, harmonia, prosperidade. This is tricky, right? So I'll say it again. Prosperidade, saúde, sucesso, realizações. This is also tricky, right? So again, realizações. And felicidade. Okay? And pay attention, guys, because here the H in the beginning of this word, a letra H, it's completely not pronounced. So, harmonia. So the sound here, the first sound of this word is A. A. We don't pronounce anything to letter H, okay? So, and how to close this letter, guys? So we can use some ways. For example, in the card, as you can notice here, they used são os votos de, são os votos de. So here, guys, this means are the wishes from. Literally, it means that are the wishes from. So when we write a card like this, wishing things, like a birthday card, a Christmas card, we can end like this. Are the wishes from. São os votos de. São os votos, what we wish, okay? But we can also, of course, end the letter like this. Com carinho, which means it's hard to translate this to English, guys, but it means that we are doing this with tenderness, you know? And we can also write abraços, hugs, okay? Hugs. And of course, if this writing is for your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, you can say beijos, kisses, okay? Which is more intimate, right? So you can use these closing expressions if you are writing cards, or Christmas cards, or even birthday cards for people who you are intimate with, okay? And pay attention, guys. I have something that I want you to pay attention. If I want to use this expression, and I already say that, notice that here we don't have the word que after desejo. We just said, eu desejo a você, and then I put the thing I wish. So I wish you love, happiness, and etc. In this case here, we are considering the possibility of using que after the word desejo, the verb desejo, wish. So this means like something like I wish that, okay? So if I have this in Portuguese, this means that the verb that comes after it has to be in the, do you know it? Subjunctive present. So let me write in here for you guys. This is the formal that we call in Portuguese subjuntivo presente, or presente do subjuntivo. It's common also to say in the inverted version. Presente do subjuntivo. Subjunctive present. So normally, guys, when we have this kind of structure, eu desejo que, and here I put another one, eu espero que. So let me write in here for you. Eu desejo que, eu espero que, which means I hope that, okay? So esperar is to hope, okay? Wishing someone something. So these expressions followed by this word que, they will demand that if I put a verb here after this expression, this verb will have to be in the subjunctive present, okay? So that's why I put here pay attention, because maybe you will think that you can put the verb in the present indicative, and we cannot. Here we have to put in the subjunctive. So if the sentence was in the indicative, for example, with this first verb here, the verb amar, to love, then I would say how we put this verb in the present indicative. Eu amo, right? But here we cannot say eu desejo, actually, with você, because the sentence is to wish someone something. So você ama. If I have to put here, I couldn't use this form. This is the indicative form, and after que we cannot use this. Then I have to say, eu desejo que você ame. Okay? Ame. And here, you can see, I put in this line, guys, the verbs from the first conjugation, which means the verbs ending with ar, like amar, cantar, desejar, sonhar. So all of these verbs belong to the first conjugation because all of them end with ar. So these verbs conjugated with você will end in e. Que você ame, cante, sonhe, dance, etc. Okay? But if we are putting a verb from the second conjugation, which means the verbs which end with er, like beber, comer, so this verb will have to end with a when we conjugate it with você. So, que você coma, que você beba. And the ones ending with ir, like sorrir, sair, dormir, they will end with você in a too. Sorria, saia, okay? So notice that verbs from first conjugation will end in e, conjugated with você. And second and third conjugation, er, ir, will end with ar. Sorry, with a. Coma, beba, saia, sorria. Okay? So, we are not studying today the subjunctive present, guys. I just want you to pay attention to this, okay? That this has to happen. And this is a way for you to try to put the verb you want to put in the subjunctive, because it needs to be after que in this form. So, if it ends with a, you know already that it will end like this. And if it belongs to the second or third conjugation, er or ir termination, then it will have to end like this, in a. It's just a help. If you need to check the subjunctive present in more detail, you can check it here on YouTube. We have a class here that we already posted here about subjunctive present. So if you want to check this in more detail, study it in a deep way, you can look for this class, okay? So this here today is just a reminder for you to use this form, okay? And if you are wishing this for more than one person, like in the card for Ana and Júlio, then the sentence will have to agree, the verb will have to agree with vocês, which is the plural form of you. So here, guys, it's very simple, because the plural form just add an am to all of the verbs. So, que vocês amem, cantem, comam, bebam, sorriam, and saiam, okay? So just put an am and then you have, here we miss an S, okay? Here in você, it should be vocês with S, okay? So these forms of the verbs, they are actually the same as here, just with an M, plus an M, okay? And guys, of course, we have the irregular verbs. Don't be so upset about it, but I'm just putting here some of the irregular verbs so you can pay attention, because they changed the form they will assume in the subjunctive present will be a little bit different from the infinitive version of these verbs. So, for example, here I just put them. Eu espero, for example, que você faça, tenha, seja, esteja, possa. Okay? So, for example, which verbs are these? Let me see if you can figure out. Faça. Let me put this in our whiteboard. I think it will be better. So, yes. So, faça, for example, guys, is the verb fazer, okay? So, que você faça comes from the verb fazer. Tenha is from the verb ter, right? Seja. Seja is from the verb ser. Esteja from the verb estar. And possa is from the verb poder. Okay? We have more irregular verbs, so you can check it, but it's important to know and notice that they can belong to different conjugations. Ar, ir. So it doesn't matter. Normally the irregular verbs, guys, are the same through the languages, at least the European languages. I can say that. For example, the irregular verbs in Portuguese, they used to be the same as in French, in Spanish, in English, because normally the irregular ones are the ones we use a lot. So think about it, okay? Well, so these are the verbs. They are a little bit different. They change from the infinitive form. But the good news is that when we want to put them in the plural form, we follow the same path. We just add an "am." Okay? So just pay attention to that, guys. What I want you to pay attention is that when we have que after desejo or espero, then if I put the verb after it, it has to be in the subjunctive. Okay? If you decide to use this form, eu desejo something, I wish you something, then you don't need to put a verb in the subjunctive because it doesn't have que, okay? Well, to end our lovely class, now I have a challenge for you. I will challenge you to write your own Christmas card. So you can write it to a friend, someone in your family, and if you want to write it only wishing something for the new year, you can also write it, okay? Because today is December 26th, so maybe you just want to write something about the new year. And new year in Portuguese is ano novo, the new year, o ano novo, okay? So you can use this model here, guys, this template. So, querido, da, dos, das, it will depend on who you were writing to. Here you put the name of the person or people. Then here you can decide if you will send the card from you or from you and someone else. A você or vocês in the plural, it will depend, right? And then you can put the message, and you can also use this other expression we just saw. So, eu espero que, and then if you have que, remember to use the verbs in the subjunctive present. Of course, if you are a beginner, the second sentence may be a little bit trickier. Then you can just use the first one, which is a model you can also use to wish things. But if you are more advanced, you can use the second one too. Then show you are really mastering Portuguese. Then you will close your letter, your card, saying one of those expressions. São os votos de, abraços, beijos, com carinho. And you sign your name. Okay? Got it? We will love to see your messages. You can write here in the comment section your own message so we can check if everything's correct. Then we promise to correct everything and send to you here in the comment section. So try it. We would love to see if you really did it, if you really got everything. Okay? Guys, that's it. I hope you have enjoyed our class. We made it with lots of love for you. We really want to help you to master Portuguese and to treat this language the most natural way you can, in a very natural way, you know, because we really want you to be fluent. That's our wish for you for 2020, okay? We thank you for being here today with us. And we wish to see you next week in our next class here on YouTube. And wishing you all the best in this Christmas, and I'll do it in Portuguese. Desejo a vocês ótimo Natal, que vocês estejam com a família de vocês, aproveitem muito esse momento e que 2020 seja um ano maravilhoso, cheio de realizações e muitas felicidades. Okay? Could you understand? I hope so. If you didn't, you can send us a message and we'll try to help you. Okay? But I think you got it, right? So, tchau, tchau e até a próxima!